I want to talk about history. TJ, welcome. I saw a couple other people pop on. Monique, welcome. So here's some interesting stuff, right? So you had colonists that were here in America, and they were just living a normal life, trying to make it by. They came for whatever reason they did, to escape persecution, escape escape a bad life, start over, whatever. That's why they came here. They came here because stuff sucked where they were. So, they were willing to risk this crazy long journey here to America and to start over. People died on these long ass boat rides. It was not like it is today, like some cruise ship or some 5-hour flight to get from one place to the other, or even like a 9-hour flight. I mean, we're talking like months on a boat, where lots, a decent percentage died on these boats. So they risked a lot to come here and start over. And they did that. They established families. They established land. They kind of were putting their lives back together. And they did this stuff. And were really trying to build something for themselves. And what happened? The king started imposing taxes, more taxes. They had their guys there not listening to what the colonists had to say, not really caring about their opinion, right? Lots of taxes, no representation. That's the whole thing. Taxation without representation, right? So they had laws going into place that weren't for the people. They weren't being allowed to petition. These guys tried for a decent amount of time to get things changed so that they were represented, they had their voices heard, and that they had a chance, right? They tried the peaceful route. They tried every avenue they could of peace. And at some point they realized that peace wasn't working. And I think that's kind of where we're at now. We're realizing peace is not making a difference. Being peaceful is not changing things for the better. What's happening with all this peace? We're doing all these protests. That's great. It's a beautiful bonding thing. If anybody hasn't been to a protest, it really is a really cool thing to be there with other people, all with the same cause, all that believe in the country, all that believe in freedom and rights. And, it's an awesome experience, just being there and chatting with those, of like mind. And so, that's what that does. It doesn't really change the situation because, we've had governors come out and say, sorry, I don't really care what the people think. And that's disturbing, that they don't care. And it's reminiscent of history, right? So the king didn't care what the people said. What did they do? They finally had enough, realized that peace wasn't getting anywhere, and they set a spark, because the king wasn't going to do it. And these governors aren't going to do it. They're listening to the people, and they see the same tactics that have always happened, right? They're slowly backing it off a little bit, right? Just enough so that you don't make a statement, you don't change things, so that you feel comfortable, so that you feel like it's okay. It's not going to be a big deal. That's what they want to do, and it's what they always do, right? They push it too far, and then they back off a little bit. And they push it too far, and then they back it off a little bit, just a little bit, just enough to make you comfortable. Raise the price of gas $1, and then back it down 20 cents, 50 cents, and then do the same thing again, and just keep pushing and keep pushing, right? So they do that, right? And what did the colonists do? If had it been left alone, the British colonists wouldn't, the majority of them wouldn't have done anything. They would not have done a thing. They would have gone along with it. They would have been fine with it. They would have gone the route of peace and, just put up with it, continued to put up with it. And things just would have gotten worse. And imagine this country today if we were still under that British rule. Like the Empire of England partially fell apart because of what we did as Americans. They lost a lot of their power and we set a precedent, right? So that's the real thing, right? That we have a chance to set precedent again in this country. We have a chance to make a difference in the world. The world has gone this way, not just America. The world has gone this way. There are a couple countries that are different, and I don't understand how America isn't leading this charge. I really don't. It's mind-blowing to me that we're not the ones leading the charge in changing things. So, what happened? They set the Boston Tea Party, right? They set an event, dressed up like Indians, jumped on this boat, threw all this tea in the water. And it was meant to make a difference. And there were 20, 30, 40 people. It wasn't a ton of them that made a difference. And they set off the spark, right? And what was the immediate response? I believe it was the Boston Massacre. So the British came in, they killed a bunch of people who had nothing to do with the Boston Tea Party, and that pissed people off. That pissed Americans off enough that they said, that's enough. We finally have to do it. We finally have to go to war with these evil villains, So what are we going to do? Are we going to allow it? Are we going to just go along with it? Are we going to watch the freedoms slowly be released back? Watch the hostages one at a time being released? Or are we going to set a spark and change this world? Because that's really the interesting thing, right? Those who can dream that the world will change are the only ones who are going to change the world. They're the only ones with enough gall to actually change it. Who was that? That was a famous quote. I think it was Steve Jobs. It's something like the dreamers are the only ones who are going to change the world. So that's the question. Are we going to set off a spark? Do we have enough people interested in setting off a spark? Some people don't think so. Some people are looking at our group and thinking, we're only for kumbaya, happy, happy stuff. And this has been since the beginning. I've gotten Second Amendment groups that are looking at us and going, yeah, you guys, we need to set this thing off, right? And I just said, cool, I get it. May 1st is the peaceful event. After that, then I don't control what goes on. I didn't know where it was going to go after that. I was hoping May 1st would be enough of a difference that it would change something. It didn't. It changed some things. Don't get me wrong. I think the Republican governors backing off was in good part because of us. But I don't think we're going to change the Democratic governors' minds. And here's the thing. If you live in one of these states that's like backing off, like Florida or Texas or, one of those, cool. You have a Republican governor right now. What happens when you go the way of Virginia and you have a Democratic governor? You have a Democratic Congress. What happens then? Do you get screwed? Yeah, you do. I wouldn't have thought that Virginia would have a Democrat, run, pretty much the majority of the executive and the legislative. I wouldn't have ever guessed that happening, but it has. So, do we want this precedent set that says that they can do this? Do we want to let that be the message that this can be done in the future? Because I'm telling you right now, they're going to back this off slowly. Most of them are. A couple of them are going to stay tyrannical through. but it's going to be a small portion and just in the worst places where they have the most control, the most money, whatever. But the rest of them are going to back it off, and then then we're going to hit fall, and in fall we're going to have the flu coupled with the second wave, and it's going to be crazy. I mean, this is going to be done again if they haven't learned their lesson. So how do we make them learn their lesson is the real question, right? How do we set a spark, make a precedent, whatever's needed? How do we do it? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough people that are behind this yet. Somebody brought that up. Are there enough people behind this that are the right people? I said everybody's the right person. That was my answer. I think everybody is the right person, because if you're interested in freedom, even if you're not the one to get out there and be on the front line, you're the one who knows somebody who is. You're the one who knows somebody well connected that could get the word out to other people. You're the one who's going to help spread the word. You're the one with 5,000 Facebook contacts. You're the one with 100,000 Facebook people who follow your page. You're the one who knows the guy who is the head of the 3%. You're the one who knows the chief of police. You're the one who, whatever, you know somebody who will be the right person, even if you're not. And that's really where I think everybody plays a key role in this. We have to set a message. And if we can't get the right people, if we can't do this the right way, I've said from the beginning, me and Janae came in on this and started this thing pretty much almost identical times. Like I was like a day or two before her. She like jumped on board with this right away. And then Justin has been huge in helping the expansion of this. And then there's a lot of state leaders who've been essential in this as well. But I've said from the beginning, this is we the people. It has to be we the people. We don't have, some crazy funding from some dark, evil Republican, cabal or evil organization. That's not the way it is. We don't have people helping us organize. Like, I got this lady who's messaging me all frickin' day today. Not all day, but for like a half an hour, nonstop, 20 messages, just crazy, right? Need to talk, need to find out more, blah, 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 blah. I'm not an organization lady. I'm not the president of some organization that's well staffed. Like, cool. I am a dude who's happy to answer your questions, help out, whatever. I'm not, it's not like that. Like, this is not some business that, has a Yelp account that you can complain to, because and people don't get this. Like, that's not what this is, right? This is just me. This is just Janae. This is just Justin. This is just you. All trying to make this thing work and figure it out. I don't, cool. Like I've met a few people along the way who have helped and who've said they would help. Some haven't, some have dropped off, some have come on. We've gotten help from different areas. I love the Guardian article. It says that we're some deep, we claim to be bipartisan and, but we're getting help from the far right, extremists. Okay, well, that's part of bipartisan, right? We're also getting some help from Democrats. That's the way it is. I mean, unfortunately, more on the right are going to support this than on the left, just for some odd reason. That is the way it is. So, it keeps going, right? It keeps going. We try to get more organization and we try to get going. And we try to make this something, but it's grassroots. It's just me on Facebook Live, right? I stuck my face on this, and I'm willing to take all the attacks. Like, I had this asshole, down in Oregon or, Arizona. New Mexico, Tom Leland Taylor, right? He puts this post up and says that I'm just an egotist. You think I want to be attacked, to be called a Nazi? Like, you think that's what I'm in this for? You're a jerk, man. Screw you and your swamp ways where you're just playing their political bullshit bureaucrat game. Screw you. Uh, I'm actually trying to like talk to people and get people going. Like that's what this is. I'm not part of the swamp or whatever, dude. Like, I'm just a dude who, like here. This is the shit I clean up mold with, right? Here's my shop vac hose. This is the shit I have in my truck, right? Here's rubber gloves for cleaning up shit. Here's my beat up clipboard, right? That I use, right? That's my truck, right? This is it. It's not the newest damn thing, Oh, here. Here's a couple Menards receipts and a rebate that I got. Dude, I'm just a guy. I'm a guy. So, I'm not some like politician. I'm not running for office or some crazy thing like that. I'm trying to just keep the message clear, help organize, make sure that we're doing something with this, because that's the one thing I see, right? Is that there's all these groups who are separate and broken apart, and they don't have something to rally under. If it's me, great. If it's somebody else comes along and wants to do that and is able to do it, awesome. I got no problem with that. I'll step aside. But nobody else is doing that. Nobody else has from the beginning. So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just keep a single message and keep people moving in the right thing. No, absolutely not. Not for governor. No. If anything, let's put Cash back in there. Let's get Cash's ass as governor. I think he's an everyday man. I think he would do a decent job in there. Yeah, John Anthony, I'm in a new office here. It's his truck. I just pulled up. Like I said, I was shopping for Mother's Day stuff. Like this is the Mother's Day gift I got right there. It's one of those Instapot deals. She's been saying she wanted one of these for a while, and I got like the best one that they had there. So that's why I'm in my truck right now. It's so. Yeah, the people have to be able to come together, get more like-minded people. We have to talk to the right people, get them on board. We have to get this message heard. We have to get it out there. And we're not alone. Like, these reopen groups, some of them have like hundreds of thousands of people, 70,000, right? The 3% groups have like thousands and hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands in the groups. They all need to come on board. And it's what I was saying yesterday. Like the thing is, and yeah, Jesse, you right where I was going, man. We have to realize that what we're trying to do right now is so important to get done that it's more important. Like the Braveheart speech, right? That Braveheart speech. Waking up in your bed, many years from now, will you wish that you could just come back to this moment and have done something? That you could have just done something? I feel like I would have a problem with that. I feel like, for me, I would have a problem, waking up and realizing that my kids don't have the freedoms that I enjoyed, for the most part, my parents enjoyed, and I would have a huge problem with that. I would have a ton of guilt that I did nothing. I talked about it previously. It's the sin of omission. It is still a sin to do nothing when you should do something, right? And the excuse of, but I might get personally attacked. Yeah. Yeah, you might. I definitely am. And I don't know what the repercussions will be of that. It may be what it is. It may be bad. I don't know how it'll play out, but I know if I give up and give into it, it'll definitely be bad. If I just lay down and say, yeah, Yeah, cool. They called me a Nazi. They called me an extreme right wingist, whatever. You know, if I just stop then I'm admitting that's what it is. Where, you know, if I go with the Grant Cardone method and push through and keep fighting through the hate, I'm likely to break through that and find the love, right? Because now people start hearing your voice. You use that momentum jujitsu style, right? They use their energy against you because they put my name out there, right? They're putting my name, my militia, they're putting us out there. And we have to be able to use that, right? Because they're talking about us. You know, that's what's great right now. You know, so they're talking about us. But guess what? All these groups that are like-minded, they're seeing that talk and they're going, bullshit. That's not true. Whatever. They've called me that before. And then they come on board. They go, shit, these guys are being attacked. I want to join up just because they're being attacked. So that's kind of where I'm at, is like, we have to still make this go. If we don't make it go, it's not going to go. We, the people, have to make this. We, the people, have to send the message. We, the people, have to take action. We, the people, have to send this spark. If we don't do it, it won't happen. They're not going to do it. They're not going to spark this off. They don't want to. They know it's a giant freaking powder keg waiting to blow. They're trying to maintain it just enough. Get what they want out of it without letting it explode. It's a game for them. That's the game. And we have to set the spark. That is how it goes. We have to set the spark that does it. We have to throw the Boston Tea Party. If we don't do it, we don't get there. Okay? So that's all my messages for tonight. We got to come together. We got to start, you know, New Jersey's doing a fantastic job, by the way. The gal over there, Ayla, she has put together a great group of other leaders, and she's starting to work it out. She's getting a lot of resistance. People wanting to, you know, be all egotistical, go do their own thing. You know, it's a giant mess, and it's what happens. So, you know, that is what the deal is, right? And it's just continuing with it. That's why we do these things so far out. We leave it a couple weeks because we know that's going to happen. You're not going to get people in a week or even a couple days to get on board and get this figured out. So we have to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing and push through the resistance. Realize that the resistance is coming for a reason. It's coming, and it's only coming at us. Like, that's what I want you guys to understand. It's only coming at us, and it's only coming at us for a reason. We're the only freaking ones who are actually able to make a difference. None of these other groups are coordinated. None of them are doing what we're doing. We're the only ones who can make a difference. That's why we're the targets. That's why we've been singled out and attacked, because we're the only real threat. If we fail, nobody will fill our shoes. Nobody will. If we fail, what happens is the void is left and people back down. There is no spark that is set. We go back to normal. And not just normal, the new normal. That's what that's about. We go to the new normal. So we have that responsibility that we have to make this go. We have to set the spark. I don't know what that spark is going to be, but we have to set it. And if it doesn't get set, we don't, I mean, it has to be the right spark too. Don't get me wrong. Like we can't just like do some stupid thing and, you know, watch the whole thing explode, because that would be horrible. You know, if we don't do it very calculated, if that spark isn't calculated and using the momentum and everything, then we go back to the new normal. Yep. The NWO normal. You know, that's what it happens. That's what happens with this, is that's where it goes. And anyway, that's my message. So, you know, guys, you need to like kind of check yourselves, see where you're at, check if you're doing enough. Are you doing enough? Because that's the judge, right? So there's this line right here, and that's the middle. And there on the other side of that line is the counter effort. The amount of effort being pushed against us. And if we aren't prepared on this side with enough effort to push through it and make it back up, all we're going to get is just not enough. It's, the what was that? The Tesla video, right? You got Tesla truck on one side, you got Ford on the other, and the Tesla just decimated the Ford. They also didn't put the right Ford up there. Screw you, Tesla. That was a cheap shot at Ford. Anyway, so you've got that, right? And you've got them exerting a certain amount of effort against us. If we are not exerting the right amount of force on the other side to beat that and counter it, if we underestimate the amount of effort that's going to come from the other side, we will lose just because of that. So we need to check, everybody needs to check, are you doing enough? Have you contacted enough people to help do that? Because if we're not, we're going to fail. And we can't risk failing. If we fail, it all goes to shit. We're the only ones there. We are the only thing in between them and America. That's it. It's us. So that's my message. That's my message. All right, I'll turn this over to some Q&A. Let's see what we got. Holy crap, there's a lot of it. It's a lot of people hopping on, though. So let's see. Happy Saturday. We did that. LA Mayor's house. Beautiful Saturday. Terrible conditions. Raylan, some of my ancestors fled from Wales, some from Bavaria, some were native, more I don't know, I'm sure, genuine American mutt. As most of us are if we actually looked. Let's see. Raylan, it's fun to meet like-minded patriots face to face. That's always my favorite part about protests and events. Mine too. I love that. Let's see. Yep, we have to make our voice heard. Jason Brosius, in World War II, some people turned a blind eye to what was happening. They did. And that's the problem. Most people are not going to jump on board. That's why they call it the 3%. I actually don't believe in the percentage is accurate. I think there's a tipping point. I think there's about 10,000 people that are needed, that are serious people who are going to affect change. I think that's about the number. I think it's about 10,000. If we have 10,000 strong people and we set off the right spark at the right time, I think the world changes. I don't think it's actually 3%. I think it's 10,000. George Amarito, if they keep handing out free money, this won't end. Well, that's part of the tactic, right? That's part of the tactic is to keep you complacent, and that's what the money's about. It's payoff. Nicole Ferguson, ugh, I just had this conversation with my husband today. People are happy with the counties throwing them a bone by barely opening businesses. I am not happy with it and won't be until this country is all the way open and our government is put in check. Yep, and that's the only thing. If we don't put them in check, we just return here. Chris Riogis, America has become a snowflake. I think there's a lot of them, but I don't think there's enough of them. I think what happens is, like I said, we have a large population, 330 million people. Most of those are snowflakes. Most of them are. But we just need that small percentage. I don't think it's 3% anymore. I think it used to be 3% with how small the population was back then. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's a smaller percentage. But it's an effective percentage. That's all we need. Shannon Llewellyn, here in Boston, we have been talking about showing up to the site of the Tea Party and throwing our masks into the harbor. There you go. That's one option. TJ Barnes, when have they ever given a freedom back after they took it? Never. We have to take our freedom back. Yep, we do. Timmy Downs, why are so many people so happy to have a portion of their freedom back? I just don't get it. Neither do I. KK, we set a big spark. There you go. Chris Riogis, we're not playing by their rules anymore. We the people. That's right. All right. Michael Dano, the rally went off today and made the local news. Very nice. Very nice. Nicole Ferguson, hell, the governor in Maryland is Republican but acts like a dictator. Yep, there are some of those. Lillian Pride, if we have clear goals, we can do something. We have to have clear goals, and we have to have organization. We have to be coordinated between the groups. We can't be separate little groups, and that's what's happened. And that was part of the tactic that Facebook did in shutting us down, because we were gaining too much traction too quickly. So they shut us down in order to divide people. We need to be able to gather people back up, and we know how to do that by coordinating. Jared Kasunik, he agrees with whatever I was saying at the time. Thank you. I have not heard of Ben Burkwan, Lauren Standra. I will check out that link in a minute. Let's see. Rex Perry, the globalists are winning because they are tightly organized. Yes. Nicole Ferguson, I'm cleaning out my big ass camper in preparation for fall and the second wave. I know that they are going to slip shit and martial law will be enacted when the second wave hits. I fully intend to be mobile. Yep, same here. Yep. MA governor is Republican and terrible. Glad he was slapped back with the gun shop closings being deemed unconstitutional. And we need more of that. Jared, I think President Trump will help in fall to protect the economy, etc. But we all must help as well. And not only that, we really have to send a message that we support him in helping this, so that he doesn't think that he's on his own. We can't do that. He is a politician. He is a businessman. He's not going to do what the people don't want. He can't force it upon people. We have to show that we support this. All right, Nicole Ferguson, I have had many people say that they have registered on the website today. Good, very good. Awesome, thank you. Oh, Nicole, thank you. She said I handle the attacks so well. I try to, and I realize that the attacks only feed power. Because I've been in marketing and sales and business for a long time. Any press is good press. Let's see. Lori Lemonday, groups are awesome to know you're not alone. They are. Cash needs to run again from Nicole. Yes, he does. Talia Strong, best husband, mom will be happy. I sure hope so. I got her also 2 small picture frames for putting the 2 kids in there, because 2 of them are hers. 2 of them are from a previous marriage of mine. I have 5, but 3 different wives. 3, yeah, do this right. 3 different wives. They always say 3rd time's a charm. So this one's a keeper. Let's see. Jesse McIntyre, this movement is more important than we can know, because the second wave will be used to justify mail-in ballots, and that's... come on, show me more. That's how they steal the election. What you're doing is waking people up to this bullshit now. Yes, and we have to wake them up now. If we don't wake them up now, it'll be too late come then. They accept it, and it just keeps getting worse. That's the problem. Complacency. It just gets worse, and people are willing to accept more. Michael Dano, the girl that had the rally, had an American Revolution 2.0 mask on that we got from May 1st when she was on the news. Nice. Lori Lamonde, too many people think history is only in the past. It repeats itself. History repeats itself. And if you are not knowledgeable of history, you will miss what is happening. You will think it is the first time. You won't know how to react. Nicole Ferguson, trust me, I've been getting attacked for the past few days. I laugh. My husband, not so much. And I understand he's in a weird position, being mayor down there. So, yeah, Michael Dano, when you go to war, you have to expect to be attacked back. I totally do. And I knew going into this I was going to. That's, why I was a bit apprehensive, but did it anyway with putting my face on it. Jennifer Tackett, I've been personally attacked and blocked, but I'm okay with that. Future generations is what I'm about. Absolutely. And we have to sacrifice now in order to make sure that happens. TJ Barnes, Josh, I was torqued about masks, but I'm still with you in South Dakota. Thank you, man. Thank you. And the masks had a purpose. They did. Lori is in communist Canada. That's fun. Michael Dano, who is taking over PA. We're working that out. I don't know that we're necessarily putting somebody directly in charge of PA, but we are getting in New Jersey, and then we're trying to have somebody that can coordinate with New Jersey, so we're trying to do that. TJ Barnes, it's chess, not checkers. Got to play moves ahead or you'll always be behind. Yes. Jennifer Tackett, this is the momentum I was talking about. Yes, we have to get them. Chris Rio, just when you pry the cold steel from my dead hand. I love that. Jesse McIntyre, united we stand. Yes, and we have to be united. Lily Ashton, I am with you on the correct estimation of effort. We have to put enough resistance to make a stand. We do. 10,000 people have to stand united and determined. Raylan, and need to stay vigilant after we put them in check too. Rex Perry, less than 20% of the colonists favor the revolution. They had snowflakes too, but here we are. Yep. And I don't think it's the percentage. I really don't. I don't think it's the percentage. I think it's the number of people. It's the irate minority lighting the fires of freedom in the minds of men. Samuel Adams quote. We the people need to use the anger in the right direction in order to make a difference in life. Yes, we can't just be kids throwing a hissy fit. We have to be tactical. Yep, Lily Ashton, key is to be organized, coordinated, and united. Raylan, that has been my biggest problem with the Illinois Liberty Party. Everybody wants to do their own thing instead of working together. Yeah, there's a lot of egos, and I understand. You know, we got to get that the message is bigger. Jason Brosius, we are all the backbone in America. Yes, all of us are essential. Roz Waz, this should be interesting. I think people still aren't comprehending the seriousness of what is going on. They don't think they are going to lose their freedom. New York is a freaking joke, and we need to get off our butts and stop this now. How do we stop the propaganda being fed through MSM? We don't. We set a spark and push them to the brink where they're willing to do something that they wouldn't normally do. And that does it. That was the Boston Tea Party. We have to throw them off of their game. Their game is very well planned out. We have to throw them off of their game. You should start making, Lori, you should start making flyers to hand out to wake people up. Yep. Lily Ashton, what's the website? Please post and pin. I'd like to follow. It's AmericanRevolution2.org. AmericanRevolution, the number 2.org. Let's see, Clint Morris, we should share this, everyone, as if this is our own. Mainstream media is not on our side at all. COVID-19 is an amazing... Open up. Oh, this is a long one. Holy crap. So I'm probably not going to read all this. People can read this on their own. Because this just keeps going on and on. Okay, there we go. COVID-19 is an amazing virus. Key features. Yep, okay. That's fine. People can read that one on their own because that one goes on for paragraphs. So, Rex Perry grassroots letter writing to our representative is going to have to be a big part of this. Old school, real paper letters. And it does. We need to write letters. We need to do all kinds of things. But ultimately, we have to get the word out, and we have to make sure that we're on board. Lily Ashton agreed with you on standing behind the president, not enough to criticize or sit and wait for him to do something for us. Yes, and here's the thing. Writing letters, sending emails, making phone calls, we've done that stuff. We've done that stuff for a long time. And you all can look at the effectiveness of that. Sometimes it works, but very rarely. Sometimes it works, but very rarely. We have had Democrats take over more and more and more. It's incredible. Paul Edward Cuomo Jr., yes, Josh, I am with you. Let's support the president. Yes, communicate and encourage people to look and read for themselves. We need to do that. And we also need to get coordinated, get together, communicate, set up communication lines that cannot be taken down. And we need to get so that we send an effective message. That is ultimately the thing. TJ Barnes not giving direction, but in the ideal world, that jumped up. What spark get the attention, and whose attention? State level, federal. We need to send the message at a state level because those are the ones who are doing this. Lily Ashton, true, a lot of free and sleeping still going on. What do you suggest to wake up? AmericanRevolution2.org. You got it. That is exactly it. yeah, some planning set in place. We have some interesting things happening in the background that I have not made people aware of right now, that may be a big part of what we go forward with. We're trying to coordinate all of that stuff right now. Actually, I was in the middle of a call. I had to end it with what was going on. So there is a lot going on. The president is aware of all the grassroots movement. Eve Morris, yep, and supports it to my knowledge. So anyway, guys, that's the thing. We have to coordinatedly be spreading the word like wildfire. Me and Janae, when we first started this, we posted links everywhere. Everywhere, right? We were posting links in every single freaking group. We got shut down. I was banned from groups for like a week and a half. Couldn't join them, couldn't do anything. And she got the same thing. She got banned from joining groups, from being able to post in them. So we started posting in comments. Every time we were in one of those groups and we saw somebody in there, we would post in comments. We got banned from comments. We started posting in Messenger, and then we got banned from Messenger. So like, it's a matter of being so relentless. That really is the thing. Being unreasonable, not stopping, being relentless. That is the key. Being vigilant, being relentless, to get the message out. And all of us have to be that way. All of us have to be that way. And if we aren't, like, here, I was having this conversation last night with some of my friends from Dream Home Ninjas. I said, look, here's how this goes. They mandate the vaccine. Nobody was for that. Everybody was against that. Cool. So they mandate the vaccine. What comes next, right? Some people will accept it. Some people are fine, right? Some people are like, no big deal. Vaccines, whatever. I understand. The anti-vax movement is only like 2% of the population. It screws everybody. So then what happens is they mandate antidepressants, because it's not a far leap for that. And I've talked about this. So they mandate vaccines because of your health. Well, they can mandate antidepressants for the same reason, right? Mental health. Well, then what happens, right? Now your Second Amendment gets taken away. Because guess what? If you've ever been on antidepressants, you're considered not mentally stable. And most states have laws that say that if you're not mentally stable, you can't own a gun, especially the Democratic ones. So they can mandate you on antidepressants. They can deem you as mentally unfit, and now you can't own a gun. Well, guess what? Now most of the population doesn't have a gun. And guess who are the number one people they're going after with those antidepressants? Who they're going to call crazy? Yeah? Yeah. Us extremists, because believing in the Constitution is an extreme view. It's extreme. Like, and I was thinking about this today. Like, the Constitution is our contract with Americans, our agreement of what the government can and can't do. Right? That's what it is. It's similar to entering into a marriage and having those marriage vows. Right? So, who in their right fucking mind, excuse my language, is going to say that your marriage vows are extreme, right? Like, celibacy, that's an extreme view. That's an extreme view. I don't know about that. Can't see that happening. Staying together as a married couple, that's already been, destroyed as an idea. But imagine somebody telling you this, that marriage is an extreme idea, right? Imagine that monogamy is an extreme idea. That's what they're doing with the Constitution. They're saying believing in freedom, that's an extreme idea, because that's a far right idea. So who are the ones that they're going to say are crazy? It's the same people who believe in that stuff, who have ethics, who believe in morals, who understand that there's a goodness to freedom, that there's a right to freedom, there's a reason you want to be free. Those people are going to be the extremists. Those are the people that they're going to drug with antidepressants, and those are the people that they're going to take away your right to own a gun. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to go vaccines, antidepressants, removal of guns. And once that's done, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. All of it's susceptible to being ripped out of your hands, and you don't have the means to fight anymore. And the army is on antidepressants. They've been pushing that agenda for a long time, getting military on antidepressants. Why? So that they're zombies, so that they don't question what's going on. That you got to take the rebel out of it. And that's the way to do it. The antidepressants calm you down. You're not going to fight. That's the danger with weed. Like, don't get me wrong, I have had my younger days. But weed makes you complacent. It relaxes you. You're not likely to fight. You're likely to chill. So, that's the whole deal with passing marijuana being legal. That's all fine. Like, I don't think it should be illegal. I think people should have a choice. But the danger in it is it creates complacency. The same as antidepressants. So they bring you down and you don't want to fight. You don't see the need. Alcohol makes you angry. Alcohol is probably a good thing. It makes you stupid. Definitely, believe me, I've had my bouts with that. Not an alcoholic, but I've had my nights where I drank too much and did something stupid. So, that's the issue, right? They're taking all of us down with these methods, and they're going to go one to the other right there. That's going to be the plan. Vaccinations, anybody who argues is crazy. You need on antidepressants. Anybody who wants to stand up for freedom is an extremist. You need to be on antidepressants. Now that you're on it, you can't have a gun. And you can't fight back. So, yeah, that is how this is going to go, guys. So we have to remember counter effort. We have to have the right amount of effort to fight it. That's how much is coming against us. We have to realize that. If you don't realize how much is coming against us, we're fighting big pharma. We're fighting the mainstream media. We're fighting the liberal communist agenda. And that's a big ass machine. We're fighting all of those things all together. They are a team in this fighting against us. And if we don't have the right amount of pushback, if we don't have the right people with us, the right number of people with us, we're going to fail. I mean, that is the thing. And if we fail, it's a horrible message because there is nobody there to fill our shoes. There's nobody there. That's why they're going for us, is because there's nobody there to fill our shoes. We're the only ones doing this. We're the only ones capable of it. We're the only ones with the awareness of it. So if we don't do it, we will fail and there will be nobody to fill our shoes and it's a lost cause. So, final thing. Spread the word, get it out there, get more people behind us, more people with us, not separated. You gotta talk to them about checking the egos, checking the bullshit, right? Check it at the door like it's a job, and let's just get this thing done. That's what we have to do. Failure, yeah, perfect, Jennifer. Failure is not an option. So that's my message. American Revolution 2.0 out. Good night, guys.